And what is going on, guys? This is your boy, Professor Diehard, and I am joined here with my buddy, Aries Gaming Productions. What's going on, Aries?
Yo, what's going on, guys?
Yeah. So, I'm starting a new series, and it's called The Couch Conversations. Now, the couch part of it is a hidden detail that only Aries understands. Yeah, you should get it. But the reason why I decided to come up with this is, I have very fond memories these past few years of my life, where I met Aries, and we would go over to each other's places, or when we were RAs, and we would just sit there and just game and just talk about everything, like or to games, to anime, to just music, anything. And while we were playing like J-Stars or Dynasty Warriors, Samurai Warriors, stuff like that. And I thought, why not take our tradition of doing these things and put it on a level where we're not only doing that in real life, but we're doing it here, and just having just some fun conversations, talking about the gaming news that's been going on here recently, or just anything we want to talk about. And this is the first episode. This is number one, and we'll probably do this every now and then. I haven't really decided the frequency of all this. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to just focus on chat audio. Then I'm going to, let's see if I can turn that down on my TV. That way we can just focus on the audio. You still hear me, Aries?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, as I have a dip in, let's talk about the news with EA. Did you hear who the new CEO is?
No.
It's the CEO from Respawn.
Oh, holy shit.
Yeah. I just did a video on it. Didn't get to watch it, but I saw the title of it, and this is great news, because the CEO who came in, he was in charge of all the microtransaction work on the EA sports games, if I remember correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong. And which was really bad. A really bad move for EA, and they've been under so much scrutiny. I actually just talked about it last night. And you remember the whole problem with microtransactions in games, and then the basketball game that came out that had the simulation of gambling and slot machines.
Yeah. 2020, yeah, EK. That's your 2K 2020, yeah.
Yeah, shameful. So this will be, we're not at the point where we can make a video or anything like that. So we're just going to do streams like this, like we've been doing. And I am using the Thronebreaker, the Witcher Tales. I like the music in the background. I'll go through the video once we're done to see if the audio's okay and the game's too loud or not. But I just want to sit here and just talk about Aries. Like, what's been on your mind in terms of gaming? The state of gaming. Where do you think we're at?
I think 2020 is looking to be a good year for it. I mean, there's just so much, there's some big titles that are coming out.
I mean, we're about to be broke. I'm gonna have to really
I
be
don't
careful.
think people realize Cyberpunk comes out in a month.
No, it's not a month. It's in April.
Oh, whatever. Yeah, April. Never mind. Well,
Yeah,
3 months.
It was supposed to be in March, I think, and then they changed it.
So let's say so 3 months max. We have to wait for Cyberpunk.
And
so
less than that, it's Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
The new remake.
Yeah. So I think what people have originally referred to as Brokeover will now become Spring Broke, and instead of Spring Break. So
Spring Woke.
Yeah. So they'll have it's just some heavy hitting things that are coming out very early this year too, which makes the early part of the year exciting. The early part of the year is usually not a part that a lot of people are just going crazy.
It's always the end of the year for sure, which really sucks.
It's historically been the end of the year, but now I think it's because they originally had to push these things out just so far back that now they're having to go, okay, we don't give a fuck. We have to pick time that we're going to be finished with this, get this thing out.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what they did with Cyberpunk. I think Cyberpunk was originally going to be out last year, but I think that they probably were just no, this shit isn't done. We've got to work on it a little bit more, and they decided to push it back to April, which is okay, I understand that. That's good. Final Fantasy VII, I feel like is going to be the same thing. The only issue I have with Final Fantasy VII is that they're releasing it in episodes.
Yeah, which I think that's a big step back. I don't think episodic natures of games are very poor, in my opinion.
You ruin the pace of it.
It ruins the pace. It takes you out of the game because like, you have to wait just to play the rest of the game. Now, depending on how big this game is going to be, like, you know, the file size you have to download. I mean, is it going to... It sounds like this game's going to end up being like The Witcher 3 levels of, you know, taking up your storage. But not at the beginning. And I just think there's nothing wrong with getting excited for a game. Nothing wrong with that at all. But I think that if you think about like streaming services, like The Mandalorian, for instance, that came out like once a week, and that's okay because it's once a week. But the waiting period is not ridiculous enough to where it becomes a problem.
You don't like crave it. Like, you can satisfy your craving for TV episodes. You can't. You
really
can
be patient. Yeah, you can be patient, and I just think that
sequel, like if it's a sequel for a game, that's way different because like okay, you can wait for a little bit for the sequel. Like if you played one game and you're like okay, well they ended the story really good, can't wait to see what they have for the next thing. The only problem with doing a remake is that people already know the story.
Yeah, I think they've had all this time to develop this game, and they need to take another year. I'd rather them take another year and put it on the PS5 and have a complete game than do episodes. I just think that, again, you take the person out of the game, and you are basically destinying the game.
Yeah, you're putting in expansions.
Now, granted...
That's what we're going to be paying for, by the way, too, I think. Square Enix is going to charge us $60 for each expansion.
And, you know, we know Angry Joe probably do a review on it, just to, you know, talk about these things.
Just get ready for it. Well, actually, you know, he won't because he hates Final Fantasy.
Well, he did a review on 15, did he not?
That's because, like, it was supposedly going to be the best RPG that was ever made, back when people were really hyping up 15. So he was like, yeah, I'll try it out. But he's never played any other Final Fantasy.
Well, you know, granted. But I'm worried. Like, I think it's going to be a good game. It looks amazing, right? It looks like you're really doing. It's like you're mixing Final Fantasy 14, which a lot of people have. Not 14, but the 13.
15.
Well, 13 and 15, with how like some of the combat's looking. It's not like you get to move around and stuff. And some people didn't like 13. I know you did, but a lot of people didn't. And
13, the opinion of the 13 got better over time. It was just nobody was used to 13 coming from 11 and 12.
And I just worry that gamers will be deterred from an episodic nature. Because again, it's not like it's like just 1 week and then you have the next episode. It's like it is. I don't know how many total episodes are going to be, but I'm not too excited about it. So I'm probably not going to get it until probably it's like fully out. Because think about like Hitman, that came out in episodes, which I didn't even play Hitman. I didn't really want to. I don't know. I think that's it's a big problem, and I don't think there's really anything else we can say about it other than that. No. It's just they're changing some voice actors,
which I am not a big fan of.
Yeah, I remember we talked about that. Yeah, you're not a fan of that, and that's totally reasonable. Keep it original, keep it new, but like keep the same essence.
Yeah, they are keeping some. Like they're keeping Tifa and Barrett.
But how do you replace Sephiroth?
Oh, I don't know how you replace George Newbern. I really do not know. Whoever's got that task, good luck.
Did he not want to do it?
Well, George Newbern has historically never liked voicing the character, but he realizes the importance of it, and so he has been willing to come back and do it. I literally just think that Square is just like, nope, it's a new day, it's a new dawn, it's a new life for me, and they decided to completely recast most of the important members. Even Aerith. Yeah. Aerith is not voiced by her original voice actor.
I just feel like, what's the point of remastering a game if it's the same? You know what I mean? Like, what's the point? You can make it. You know, nothing wrong with like taking it and making it and putting it into a new light. But I just hate that. I don't think there's anything gonna be different with it unless there's new endings. That'd be cool, which I don't think it's gonna be. It's not gonna happen.
No, it won't. No, you'll be able to do a lot more stuff, though. I think there's going to be a huge difference between Like just doing things in the game that you could in the original 7 versus even like 7 HD.
Yeah,
versus
probably. Yeah.
remake. But even then, like, there's going to be certain things when I play the remake they're going to take me to get a little bit used to. One of them's going to be the voice acting. The other is going to be probably combat, because from what it looked like, because Tetsuya is the same guy that worked on Kingdom Hearts 2. So I usually compare most of the Final Fantasy games in relative, like the ones that you actually can move your character around with, like your abilities and stuff like that. They help you get around places. Everybody looks like they can get around pretty good, except for Cloud.
It looks like Final Fantasy 15 in a way, but not as free form as Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah, like Final Fantasy 15 had like, at least you could warp. That was the best thing about the combat system.
Yeah, and that's gone.
You look at a place, you throw the sword there, you could stick to the wall and then come back down. Like, that stuff's nice. This is going to be straight up like brawl, like 1v1 or 1v3s with Cloud and Barret, and you're just going to be hoping to God that your sword strikes aren't coming out laggy as fuck.
I think Barret looks the weakest of all of them, honestly. Because, I mean, all he can do is just shoot his gun the entire time. Maybe he has like a power blast or something, but it looks like he's just walking around shooting his minigun the entire time, not doing much.
He's still got his limit break. I think like your regular shots are what builds up his limit to begin with.
I think
like,
I get that.
But Clouds is just like hack and slash your way through to a limit break, hopefully, and not just get fucked. Because like the only thing about Cloud is that he looks like he can block good. None of the rest of the cast look like they have any idea what the fuck to do when you're trying to block with him. Cloud looks like he's the only one that can tank hits. Everybody else just gets pushed back way too much.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna like it that much. It's cool what they're doing. Yeah, it's cool, but I just think they're going about it the completely wrong way. And you should.
With the episodes, like the gameplay and like, gameplay and the graphics. Like, I mean, that's what they're. It almost looks like that's what they're selling it off of, and not the fact that it's going to be episodic.
Yeah, I mean, of course. I mean, that's how you diverge people's attention. It's like, look at the game, look how pretty it is. Oh wait, that's it. Where's the content at? And that's what Destiny did, honestly. And I've never really been a big fan of it. It's probably better now, but then again, I don't get the excuse of, hey, no content now, but later be content, so it'd be a good game now, right? And it's wrong. It's wrong. People get reviews out, and they're probably lower. I don't know. It just depends. And people are rating this game that's not even fully out, because there's like a whole season pass you have to buy, and you end up paying like $80 to $90 for a complete edition of Destiny.
Yeah.
And it's rough. And if they do that with Final Fantasy, you're gonna see a lot of pushback, and the people will speak. All the people will rise.
But just knowing like how much Square has been holding back on their products lately.
Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll really have to see. Have you seen? Yeah, you go.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go.
I was gonna say some other stuff that's coming out.
Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk. People who didn't like Street Fighter V when it came out, you can probably actually get a completed game with the Champion Edition, which I'm probably gonna pick up just to try out. I did my thing for Street Fighter. I actually have an very old video on Arcade Edition when it first came out.
I think I remember that. Yeah.
So I still have that on my channel, and you can still see me just kind of not really impressed with the whole thing that they were doing, but because I've watched all the tournament stuff and everything, they've actually done a good job with it now, and I probably was breaking it over the coals too soon when Arcade Edition came out. So I'm going to give it one more chance, and basically going to do that. So
well, cool. Well, let me know. Do a video. Do your impressions on it. I'll tune in and see what you think. Witcher. The Witcher just came out, the new series, late December, and I watched it and I love it. I have some gripes with it, but Aries, have you watched any of the episodes yet?
Yep, I watched the first 2 episodes last night.
What'd you think?
It's fantastic.
It's absolutely freaking fantastic.
A little slow in the very beginning, though, with the first episode. First episode's a little slow, but
You know what's funny about that? Henry Cavill, Cavill. I've always been saying Cavill. It's Cavill, and I feel dumb not saying his name the right this entire time. It blows my mind. I have a lot of things to say about Henry, but nothing but good things, honestly. But like he
honestly,
is awesome.
yeah.
He played Witcher 3 multiple times. I think 2 times. He beat the whole game twice. And he just loves the game. He's a World of War crafter. He loves to play that. He loves to play Overwatch. Overwatch. There's another game he said he played, but I can't remember off the top of my head. So he plays a lot of games, which is really, 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 really cool. And Empire Total War. He plays Empire Total War, which is awesome. I'm a huge Total War fan, and which I wish to be on PlayStation, but there's just no good way to implement that, honestly. On unless the PlayStation came out with like a mouse or a keyboard attachment, which would be awesome. I would invest in that, but you really can't. But I am very surprised at how good the Witcher series is, especially because it's not a higher budget as some movies. A lot of practical effects, a lot of great sword fighting that Henry Cavill does himself. Like he's been training. Actually, there's a lot of awesome videos on Men's Fitness with him and his trainer going over some of the exercises that he does. And I've actually been implementing that in my workout regimen. And God, it's ripped my shoulders to pieces because he's had to strengthen his muscles and his shoulders all around just to help with his sword fighting ability because he does all the stunts himself. And I just, man, it blows my mind just how good the choreography was done. The choreography was done by a master swordsman.
Yeah.
And he's a very not Henry. He's not a master swordsman, but like he was
the guy who's actually like behind the scenes.
Yeah, who created the choreography, and Henry was a part of it. His team, and like they all created this awesome. They wanted to be very technical, and you see the technicality in the sword fight itself. It's so cool. I give it, honestly, about a 9 out of 10. I will give it 10 out of 10. There's some things I have to talk about. There is, and Angry Joe had his, he had some, I wouldn't say misogynistic views on it, but I will say this. I do think there's way too much nudity.
That's what a lot of people have been saying about it. That's, at least from what I saw too, it's
a little bit much. I mean, the first episode, he goes to meet that wizard, and it's just like it's there for no reason.
Nothing but fucking.
Not even they're not even doing that. They're just like there's these naked women just chilling, just messing with the plants, and it's not real.
I think my guess is just like I'm thinking of like all the scenes that you already see that they're advertised with it from like him. I guess it's the actress who plays Yennefer.
Mm-hmm.
That it's like they're basically advertising him in the bathtub for some reason all the time. Like in the Witcher, he's not in the fucking bathtub the entire time. Like he's like he goes there occasionally, but fuck.
Mm-hmm. I do agree with you. The girl that plays Yennefer is fantastic. I did not know if I would like her that much, but she's fantastic. Triss is not my favorite. I think they completely miscasted her. And before anyone jumps on the bandwagon is it because of her color? Like, is it because of her skin color? No. That's not what it is. It has nothing to do with that. I've never had a problem with like changing not a gender, but I do have a problem with changing gender of characters completely. But I do have a problem with if the character okay. So if people don't realize this, these are based on Polish novels. So it's awesome to see there's such a mix of different racial backgrounds in this show. It's awesome. I have nothing against that. I do think the actress, who plays Triss, does a very poor job of being Triss. And you'll see that as time goes on, which you may have already met Triss in the second episode. Maybe not. That's maybe a little bit later on. I feel like she's probably the weakest character in the entire series, and if I'm being honest, she just doesn't portray Triss very well, and she's not very believable as a character, and I just don't like the way she acts. So I wanted to get my opinion out there because Angry Joe talked about the girls are supposed to be beautiful, and I don't think it's not. She is a pretty girl. I do think she's very good looking. I don't think it has anything to do with her looks. It has things to do with like how she actually acts in the show, and that's my gripe. It's not, and again, some people are like, that's not what she looks like in the games. Look, I get that. I actually really do get that. I don't think it has anything to do with race. I think people just want to be true to the source material. Mm-hmm. For instance, Black Panther. What if all the people were white? Like, what the crap? That doesn't make sense. You don't do that because that's not the characters.
Black Panther.
It's Black
They're
Panther.
From Africa.
Like, yeah,
like,
or
where they're literally a secret civilization in Africa.
Yeah.
The one white guy in there is literally an American in the movies. It's
exactly.
the guy that plays fucking Bilbo, and he's English.
Exactly my point. And I think that there is nothing. I have nothing against them wanting to portray Triss like as an African American. Is she African American? I don't know. I'm not going to assume. I don't know. But Polish people have more of a lighter tint, and is that a big deal for me to see that it's not like that? No, I don't care. It does not bother me. I'm not so upset about that, or I'm not even upset at all in the least bit. I think that's just something to talk about and understand that people who get upset about these things, they're not upset because, oh my God, we don't want to see that. It's not really that. It's just people want to stay true to the source material. And that's all I have to say. Her hair's not even red. Like, what's up with that? Like, her hair's supposed to be like blood red, like, and her hair's not even red. So again, that's just my 2 cents there. I do think the nudity is ridiculous, though. I think that there's nothing wrong with showing sex scenes. Like, it's a mature show. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's like in every movie, and it's whatever. You can't control that. But my problem is when you take that and you say, hey, we're in the middle of a story here. Let's get some exposition. Oh, look, a whole orgy happening in the background. It doesn't make sense. It's like, why? Like, and you haven't seen the episode yet, but you will here soon, where there's a scene where it's just like there's some exposition going on about a story in the show, and in the background there's a freaking orgy going on, and it's stupid. It doesn't make sense. And Yennefer, and we can talk about this later after you finish it, and we can actually do a review on it. I would love to do that. One of her biggest things that she really wants doesn't even make sense, and it's kind of dumb, her reasoning. And but other than that, 8, 9 out of 10 for the series. I am thoroughly excited, and since I played The Witcher 3, I actually get the entire story now. Like, I won't say the entire story. Some things I'm a little bit hazy on because I didn't play The Witcher 1 or Witcher 2, but I'm impressed. They did a really good job, and Henry Cavill wanted this role badly. Like, he really wanted it, and like he had his people call them multiple times, just like, hey, I want in, I want to be Geralt, I want to be Geralt, and he just executed. He is The Witcher. So I just think, what a cool time to be alive, where you can see these shows and these books that like the fans love. I'm actually thinking about picking up some of the books because they're actually really good. You can get them on iTunes. Really good reads. They're fun. Geralt's just this really cool guy, and like just the whole story is just great. And I'm really excited to see where it's going to go. First season's only 8 episodes, and the next season they're renewed for a second season, which that's where you get into more stuff with Triss. Because for reasons that you'll see later on. But yeah, so I had nothing to say other than the Nilfgaardians look stupid. They ruined how they look, and you'll see more in detail later in episodes, Aries, as you see the show, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Because if you played the games, they look nothing like the games at all. Like Geralt one time says, like, it's a sea of black and gold, and they're about to attack or whatever, and they're not wearing gold, it's just black. And it just doesn't make sense. But other than that, that's all I've got to say about the Witcher series. I'm really excited. I'm really following a lot of Henry Cavill's stuff. I didn't realize that he was in one of my favorite movies from like 2012 or 13, I can't remember. called
Is it Mortals?
no, it's called the man or the person from Uncle.
Oh yeah.
The spy thriller. I didn't even realize who. I love the movie so much, and I want to watch it again here soon. Never did a second one. They need to. It was such a great story. Rotten Tomatoes gave it like a 60 or 70, which I think is stupid. It was so well done. And Henry Cavill just needs to be the next 007. Because he just reeks of just agent suaveness. He's a good-looking guy, built. I think he'd do better than Daniel Craig, honestly. I think he'd be a more believable James Bond. But he has like that more traditional style of how he looks and dresses.
Yeah, he looks like a classic Britishman.
Mm-hmm.
Which I mean doesn't really matter because James Bond was originally Scottish.
But yeah, but like how they look, I feel like Henry Cavill would match up better
Yeah.
than Daniel Craig, in my opinion. Not saying Daniel Craig's a bad actor. I think the movies are good, but still. I can't think of anything else to say about that. Henry Cavill actually recently surprised me. Saw a video the other day about he didn't talk straight to the Me Too movement. You know what the Me Too movement's about? You know, girls being all that. People were complaining about one movie he was in about like I can't remember what it's called, The Instructor or something, where like I think it's like a sexual movie, and I think he made a comment saying like there's just such a natural attraction, but to me to like for a guy chasing after a girl, trying to woo her and trying to get her basically, and then he basically said, but we live in a generation now that like doing that can basically say you're raping the person, and the person can get in trouble, and a lot of people got mad about that he said that, and I was like, wow, Henry Cavill kind of speaks for a lot of guys. And if you want to talk about the weekend, sorry,
there was a lot of stuff in the '90s too before this that was big too. If you actually go back, there's a interview with some prominent writers from the feminist movement back in the '90s. Now, they decided to have Christopher Hitchens on too. I don't know if you know who Christopher Hitchens is, but they basically had him on, and his which he had a really good way of saying, as he usually does for a lot of things that he speaks on, but he said it was a regression towards infantilism, I think. Which is like one of the most British ways you can possibly say things. But
can you explain what infantilism? This is for our viewers and for me. What do you mean by infantilism?
Where basically you go, wham, somebody did this to me, wham.
Like a baby, infant, going to okay.
Infantilism, a mindset that you always need something and that you are constantly being oppressed if you don't get what you want. Basically.
Yeah. And we're not making any other. We're not pointing to anything else, and we're just talking about. We live in a generation. I think it's very humbling to see Henry Cavill share that, and he apologized, and like I didn't mean it like that. I just mean that and the guys who were going over this, they agree with them. They're like, yeah, no, literally, we live in a generation where like going after a girl, wanting to like talk to her, that could be seen as being too much, and it's just like, well, what's dating now?
Yeah, you're a creep.
Mm-hmm. And like I find it funny that a lot of people do it. Girl, I don't know.
It's completely different though. But but the Me Too movement was good for the time that it was in for the beginning of it, because it wasn't really even about the surge in Hollywood where you had the guy from Fox News, Roger Ailes. He had been basically ousted by a bunch of the reporters from Fox that he was trying to get with. I mean, this guy is a disgusting dude too. I mean, he's a 60, 70-year-old dude, looks like a gremlin, and was trying to hit on all these 30-year-old reporters and stuff.
I completely get, and that's my point. I completely understand the movement, and I think that what it's become it has brought fear into young guys, I feel like, to even pursue dating in a way, because it's just, I don't know, it's just weird to me. It's just different. I feel it a lot. We were talking about the other day, just like, you got to be really careful. I'm just going to say it like this. know some guys who don't care about getting drunk, and another girl gets drunk and they hook up, and I'm like, that is the stupidest thing you can do, because
That's Title IX. If everybody watching doesn't know what Title IX is, look it up. It's originally was for equality for women during big sports movement in the universities, and then turned into basically a equal rights.
Equal representation, and just like, protecting the rights of somebody. If someone's infringing upon it, like they're being too much, like you can report them to Title IX.
Of women's sports being in minority, which they no doubt traditionally have been, and so that was basically just to get them equal funding as well, because they did not have equal funding.
Yeah, and they have to have equal sports on each side.
They still don't. Yeah,
like
to this day, they still Title IX does not actively pursue equal funding for so that was just
not funding, but just instead of funding, they just want it to be like even a number of sports for both sides. Doesn't matter if it's the same sport; it's just you have to have an even amount.
But it's also used now for sexual assault victims on college campuses, and not even college campuses. Some companies actually use the outlining for Title IX in their when the lawyers draft up their legal documents.
Which is a good thing. You need to be able to protect yourself, and you need to be able to, if someone is being too much on you, and we completely agree with it. Like, that's not what we're saying. We do agree with it, and it's a very important thing. I'm glad it's a thing that, if something like that's happening, that someone got mistreated or raped, like they have somewhere to go.
Yeah. Especially along with that, though, it was good to at least hear Cavill, I guess, speak in the lines.
It takes balls to do that. I don't know how long ago that was when he did that, but it takes balls to do that, because Henry Cavill is just a very masculine dude. That's against the norm right now too. So it is to be masculine is very, people look down upon that, and
it's healthy masculinity. Like, I'm sorry to say, but like men sometimes they wish to procreate, and women do too. And it just depends on who you're attracted to. If the guy's attracted to a girl, yeah, he's biologically, so to speak, can't help it. But that's not here or there. But there is a way for it to come across differently too.
Exactly.
And once there's not probably one guy in the world that's probably caught another guy doing something crazy, trying to get with the girl, and you say, "Hey, knock it off," or "That's enough of that." Like, there's been at least one time in someone's life, and it's just part of being a guy too. Is that if you see that happening, you go, "No, hey, we gotta stop this shit right here." Like, that's before things get out of hand. So that's one of the things.
Exactly. And if you don't do that, you're a scumbag.
That's what Chris Ray just talks about. It's the regression to infantilism. You're talking about people just saying, well, so and so touched me, I would go to the dean about it, and then the same person that said they touched me would go, "No, she touched me," and you get into this whole. It's basically a he said, she said thing, which everybody knows is never historically good for the other party. But
no,
anyway,
exactly. But we want to talk about that. I just find that interesting, because Henry Cavill is definitely one of my favorite actors now of all time. Tom Cruise is great. I have a lot of favorite actors, but Henry Cavill is someone that I just really started to idolize. And I think it's awesome that he speaks for guys out there to just want to be a guy. With respect to the girl, obviously. Healthy masculinity is what Aries was saying. But yeah, any of my viewers who are watching, be safe, be smart. Don't. If someone's not interested, whatever, move on. And if they become interested later, screw them. Like, you be the guy you're supposed to be, and doesn't matter what moral background you come from. Misogynistic views and degrading women is never the right thing to do. And
if you are one of those people, just learn from your mistakes and make amends to the people that you've done wrong to, and try your best to move on.
I 100% agree. I just think that you talking about gaming news, talking about all these people who are in these shows, it's important to remember that these people still have their own views, and it's awesome to see people so high up in just the actor chain who aren't afraid to speak their mind, because we live in a society where if you speak your mind, it's not what people like. It's yelling fest and all this different stuff. And Henry's just proven to be just a great person, and you know, people hate on him just for his views. You know, shame on you, because I mean his views aren't infringing on yours. And anywho, so we can move on from that conversation.
But another thing we need to talk about. Damn, we've been having so much fun with Titanfall too. It's ridiculous.
I can't believe we went so long without playing it, and we've been playing games like Battlefront 2. Now let's just talk about this. Battlefront 2 is not a bad game, by no means. Not anymore. You should go play it. Battlefront 2. EA, DICE have been working their butts off getting content out there. I wish there'd be more content, like, you know, get more of a team there instead of a skeleton team. To do stuff. I think that'd be great, because I mean, if you're going to keep this game going through 2020, which they're going to, they're not going to. There's not another. They have said that like they are not going to announce another Star Wars game until like late 2020 or like 2021, which is great. Because to draw parallels, BioWare, when Mass Effect Andromeda came out, it's not what it should have been. Was it still a good game? I think it's still a good game. People who say it's a bad game, like, that's stupid. The combat's fantastic. The graphics look amazing. The story's okay. It's not amazing, but it's okay. And they ended on a cliffhanger. But then when people started backfiring, they said, "Oh, no, we're just going to give up on it." And I think that's a very, very poor decision. Now, granted, there are some games that people should have just give up on and just drop it, like Fallout 76. Good God Almighty. What is going on with Fallout 76? It feels like every single time they put a patch in, and I'm going to say it like this. Me and Aries don't play it. We never did, because we weren't conned into the idea of playing Fallout 76. We trust our reviewers. Our reviewers, like Angry Joe, Yang Ya, Layman Gaming, we trust them to give us adequate reviews, and every single time they give a review, I mean, they are of genuine quality. It's probably why they're not so high up on the food chain in terms of reviewers like IGN or GameSpot, because they critique it. They actually critique the games versus giving IGN and GameSpot giving like a 6.9 out of 10. Like, oh, get out here with that crap. Like, you know, it's like, it blows my mind. Too much water.
IGN,
what was it? Too much water?
IGN said out of 10, too much water.
What game was that?
I forgot which one it was, honestly. It was
about like a pirate. Was it not like a pirate game or something? I can't remember what it was. It was like too much water or something. I'm like, was it Zelda Breath of Wild? No, I can't remember what it was, but it was stupid.
Game,
it was stupid. It didn't make sense. It was like, yeah, well, what? And it was dumb. But Fallout 76, so many glitches going on. Like, people being able to just go up to you and just steal everything from your inventory by clicking on you. Like your power armor, getting armor removed from your power armor and losing all your stuff. That blows my mind. And people who continue to defend the game, I don't know why you do that. Even the absolute horrid treatment Bethesda has done to its community is so abhorrent. Is that the right word to use? Abhorrent? Is that even a word? Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. It is such a poor... It's been so poor. And how they treated the people, how, like, you know, people who are testing bugs, they get in trouble because at one time they forgot to report it in, but other people reported it in, but they didn't, so he gets banned. It's just like, man, you know, when's enough going to be enough? And then, like, their debut on E3 this last year was NPCs. I'm like, that is the stupidest reveal I have ever seen. And it feels like this game is a colossal failure. And they need to pull the plug. And if people want to play it, let them play it. Like, that's fine. Let them play it. Stop. You can do updates and stuff, but stop releasing content on this game. It's a failure of a game. Is there cool things to it? Like I've seen some really cool armor, like the Enclave armor and stuff they put in. Like, not the power armor, but like some like combat armor and some the uniforms of the officers. Look, dope as crap. Like, I would want to just look like that while I was playing the game. But no real story, very pointless. No NPCs. Like, we've already talked about all this in the past, but it just blows my mind that people still play this game, and the numbers are probably dwindling. I should really look it up. Actually, I'm gonna look it up right now. Let's see here. Fallout 76 Fallout 76 number of players. Let's see. This is December 17, 2018. Let's see here. Live count. Let's see. Let's see what the live count says. 33,000 people. That's really low. Like,
that's painfully low. Yeah.
That's really low. Now let's think about this. Let's go to Witcher 3 player count. 3 player live. Let's see here. About right now, 82,000 people are playing it right now. Now this is a game that came out like in 2015. That's still pretty okay. I mean, it's a game that's already been out for a long time. Let's think about let's see. It dwindled, but like when it came out May 2015, it was like 51,000 people. That's actually kind of funny because like at one point it was like there's more people playing now than there was in 2015.
Yeah.
This is just an average. It's not an actual, total number. So that's kind of funny seeing that. Like Witcher 3, a game that came out in 2015, you have more people playing that than you do freaking Fallout 76. Numbers are still small, but the game came out so long ago, and it's a very niche type of game where you either like it or you don't. And not everyone's going to play Witcher 3 because they may not like the story or whatever. Because more people play multiplayer games, I feel like, than single player. But you're playing it. It's a multiplayer game. Fallout 76 is, and it's that low. So whatever. Those are truly dedicated fans to stick with a game like that, and I just think that it's just absurd. I think it's very absurd to stick with the game that's done things it's done over the years, and it's just sad. All the bugs, it's ridiculous. This game was not ready. It was on a pathetic engine that needs to be shot in the back with a shotgun, and they better come full swinging with Starfield. Starfield's their next game. Rage 2 came out. I didn't look interesting to me at all. I'm just tired of just like games that take place in a desert and like you have to like you're in a doom buggy and you're going around. I'm tired of games like that. Like what was the game that came out? Not Rage. There's another one that was kind of like oh god, it was based on a movie. You had the shotgun and you're in this desert wildlands like going around. He had like a double barrel shotgun shooting all these crazy raiders. Yeah, I think you know what I'm talking about. I'm tired of that. I'm so tired of this like post-apocalyptic background type games. Like I think it's been done to death. And I'm kind of tired of seeing games like that. But what else in terms of gaming news? Yeah, but Cyberpunk. Let's talk about that. What are your thoughts on Cyberpunk?
I think it still looks good. It still looks like a game that's definitely is going to last for a lot of people instead of just kind of being like the curse of actual gaming today, which is just kind of one of those things where people are going to be like, oh, okay, well, this game is pretty good because of this, this, and this. It's going to be like one of those things where I think people are actually going to role play it. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be nice. And so that'll actually be pretty cool once it gets to that level at least. And if they pull it off like they say they're going to pull it off, then, I mean, that'll be pretty just absolute fire. Like, it's just a game you can't underestimate right now, at least. Mm-hmm. So, considering it's Cyberpunk doing it too, it's the same people that made The Witcher, so, I mean, it should be flames.
I better see a Siri cameo, or I'm going to be losing my mind. Here's the thing. I am excited for the game. I just do think that I don't care if this argument's been done to death and CD Projekt Red doesn't agree. That's totally fine, and I get it. But I had the same gripe with Outer Worlds. What is the point of customizing a character and you take out the cutscenes where you see your face? And it's all first-person cutscenes. What is the point of making that if you don't even see your face? Like, what's the point? There's no point in character customization. Because I guess people want to be able to customize their character and make them look as much as they want them to look, but that's stupid. Like, $10, the only thing you'll probably see your character is like sex scenes.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Because you said that you can do that in the game. That you can do hookups. You can do whatever you want. You can be gay, straight, transgender, whatever. I mean, I don't care about that. But like, you can do whatever you want. And I'm just sitting here thinking like, that's cool. You can make your characters like that. But like, what's the point of customizing a character if you don't even get to look at your armor that you like? That's the one thing I love about games is where like Witcher 3. I love my Geralt outfit. I got the Toussaint Knight armor. It's like just, it's clean. The velvet like shirt and like the armor plates on your shoulders. I mean, you just look dope. And Geralt, this looks cool. You can cut his hair and cut his mustache, and he just looks dope. But like, I can't get behind that mentality of it's designed to be first person. Well, if it's designed to be first person, then take out character customization completely. Yeah. Because there's no point. Make it to where it's like a certain set character, and you can change like maybe the color of their skin, and that's really about it. That's all you will see. I feel like that takes you out of the game. Like like even Oblivion, Skyrim, all those games have like the ability to do first person and third person, which I play most of the games. I play it sometimes in first person, like to do melee combat and like archery and stuff, because you have to just to be able to aim better. But it's just like, man, we should have that option, not the whole Outer Worlds option. It's like if you just let your controller sit for a while and then you get to see your character like go around like in a circle as it views you in a 360 view. I don't like that. I mean, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't particularly like it either, but
it's still going to be a great game. And that's not what I'm trying to say here. I'm not saying it's going to be a bad game because of it. I just think that you're taking me out of the immersion. Because like even Borderlands, I mean, it's a good game. I got bored with it because I mean, you get to customize your character, but ultimately you get to see his legs. If you look down, you get to see him with you in your inventory screen, but you should be able to see your guy. It's just that should just be a part of it. It doesn't matter what cool armor you have on. What's the point of having it on? Mass Effect 3. Andromeda, Andromeda had a lackluster amount of armors, but there were some like the Hyper Guardian armor, the one I usually wore, looked dope. I love looking at my guy. Man, he looked like a buff, space ranger. Like he just looked dope. And then Mass Effect 3, there's a lot of customization, like coloring your armors. There's like this Splinter Cell looking headset you can get that looks dope. Like it just, you felt more invested into the game. And then one of the DLCs for Mass Effect 3, you get a freaking silenced pistol and you just clack people in 2 shots. It's better than a freaking sniper rifle. And you can just wreck people, and I just thought that was hilarious. So I would just use that gun the entire time because it's a silencer on a freaking gun. That's cool. It's looking out to be an amazing game. I'm going to get it. I'm pretty sure I pre-ordered it. And I look forward to seeing just what CD Projekt Red has in store, because this game, I have been going giddy over this game for a long time. My excitement has subsided a little bit just because you kind of have to a little bit just to keep yourself sane, because if you keep thinking about it, it's going to drive you crazy. But I remember that first trailer came out, I was so excited. So the presentation looks awesome, the world looks cool. Hopefully they're making a very complete game, bug free, hopefully. Outer Worlds had no bugs, no game breaking bugs, pretty clean game, never crashed, nothing. I was very surprised by that. Play a game like Dragon Age though, and you put too many of those magic runes down the ground. It's like landmines basically. You put too many down. Was it Dragon Age Inquisition? I can't remember. No, it was a different game. No, it was Skyrim. Oh my god, you put too many of the runes down the ground, like little mines, like magic mines. The game crashes. It's just nuts. So I can't really think of. There's Last of Us 2's coming out. I played the first one. I thought it was good, but I felt the story was good. Not saying it's a bad game at all. I do like zombie games, especially in a world like that. But I kind of felt like since I played it later on versus when it first came out, that the wow factor wasn't as big for me as it was for some other people.
Like for me, I played it when it came out.
See,
so
I didn't.
Got the original, I got the original WoW factor to it. So but of course, I didn't even play on PS4. I played on PS3.
Wow, yeah, because that's right. That's right. It remastered. It wasn't on PS4.
They remastered it. Yep.
So that's when I played the PS4.
So I have played it on PS3, and yeah, I mean, I was just immediately blown away. That's just a game where I was immediately blown away with it. I was immediately blown away with the characters, how they set up the world, what the world was like, what the people were in it, the type of zombies that you're.
It felt very linear, though. That's the only thing. That's probably why I didn't like it. It told a story, and it told the story well.
That's true to a Naughty Dog game, though. Naughty Dog is pretty straight, linear single player story mode, and that's pretty much most.
What didn't they make what's the guy? Not just Uncharted, but they also made. Is that different to company? No, Naughty Dog made the guy with the cell phone and the baton. Watch Dogs.
Watch Dogs, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that game wasn't as amazing, but actually it's really funny because people got mad about the graphics of the game. But if you can actually go to the settings and change it to what the game is supposed to look like, it's there. It's just some people were thinking that the game looked better on PC than it did on the console, so they just downed the graphics on every. I think it's just on PC you can do that, but you can just fix the graphics. It looks way better, all the lighting effects and everything. I'm trying to think what else. There's some other indie games coming out. Disco Elysium. I'm really excited to play that when it comes out. I think I'm gonna definitely do a playthrough on that whenever that comes out. This is like my last day back home before I go back to college to finish out the masters. I won't be a professor, but I'll be a professor on YouTube. There you go. But you can call me Master Die Hard. Maybe I'll change it to be more appropriate. But it's going to be pretty busy this semester, so hopefully I'll be able to keep doing content here and there. Usually, continue on.
Here's just a list. I just found some things that were coming out in 2020. So we already talked about Cyberpunk. Doom Eternal is also coming out in 2020.
I never played Doom, so...
There's another one called it's developed by the same people who did Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It's called Gods and Monsters. Then there's Watch Dogs Legion, the new Watch Dogs that's coming out, and you get to play as a grandma.
Actually, I am excited about Watch Dogs Legion. If they made the game better, versus what they did prior, being able to have your own team, if they die, they're gone. You have to hire new people. I think that's very cool because, get the granny. I'm going to have a granny. I don't know if I'll have a granny squad. I'll probably have the granny who's the leader of my organization or something. It's kind of funny like that. But I am excited for that game. They pushed it back because what game came out that I think a game came out and they had to push things back. No, I know what it was. It was Ghost Recon that came out. That was trash. And some guys are making cool videos of their executions of bases and stuff, but you can literally beat the final boss at the very beginning of the game, which is kind of funny. Because that game flopped.
Other ones, just to kind of quickly go down the list. There's Halo Infinite that's coming out, so anybody who's probably gonna get the Xbox, the new Xbox that's gonna be a launch title too, which would be pretty hype. Actually, that's actually a good thing on their part. Go ahead and just fucking release Halo. Just you got a new console. Put Halo on it.
Because they did that on the PS4, they released it and just wasn't really neat. Most of the games that came out for PS4 were Shadow of Mordor, which that wasn't even a complete game. That game was so small. It was cool.
The best game that probably actually came out on the PS4 launch was probably Infamous Second Son. No, it was a complete game. It was a good game. I enjoyed playing it.
See, I never played it. I never played any of those games. But I heard it was good. I had nothing against it. I just didn't really have an interest. I didn't like how the character looked. I don't know.
Yeah, he's like a hipster. He just looks like he looks like he's from Seattle.
Yeah,
he looks like he's straight out of Seattle. But his powers are really cool. I mean, just you're a smoke powered dude, which is pretty fucking dope. You can go inside of buildings and just come up through the chimney essentially. You're fucking reverse Santa Claus. And
yeah, there was that came out. There was Metro Exodus, not Exodus, but it was another Metro game. I like the Metro games. So I thought they were pretty good. Those are remasters though. They remastered that. They had Shadow of Mordor. That was really. They had some other games, but it was very shallow in terms of everything that was coming out. So
yeah, until things started to coming out, and then even then, lately they just started remastering a lot of stuff and putting it on PS4. Like Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom, they remastered that, put it on PS4.
See,
They
I think
remastered Final Fantasy 7, Final
there's
Fantasy
so many
8.
other cool games to remaster, and I don't know, man. Like I think that they should have a streaming, not streaming service, but they should be able to remaster all the older RPGs that you can't even play anymore. I can't remember what one of them was called. It's like a mech RPG that looked really cool. Like I've always wanted to play, but it's they haven't released that yet. I just feel like there's no remaster of Mass Effect, which is stupid. I don't know why they have not done that. All the games you think they should remaster, because if they're really hurting for, I don't think they're really hurting for money, hearsay, but I think that if you really want to please the fans, remaster the games of like major company what it was, cough cough BioWare, because then you release Anthem, it's trash. And then, now you have to make sure the new Dragon Age and there's a new Dragon Age coming out at some point, I think, and another Mass Effect, because I think they're working on it right now. So they have to, I don't know why, but just like the Mass Effect 3 looks better than Andromeda. And that says a lot. That's on 360, and it looks better. How the people look, everything. I don't know. But anyway, what other games?
So down the list, Marvel's Avengers, Psychonauts 2, Dying Light 2, Rainbow Six Quarantine, Animal Crossing, Minecraft Dungeons, Destroy All Humans, I think is getting another game, Ghost of Tsushima,
Is that
Trials
okay? Yeah.
of Mana, Outriders, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, Wasteland 3, System Shock, Animal Crossing.
Oh yeah, I am excited for System Shock. That's gonna be dope.
Persona 5 Real Edition, 12 Minutes, and Carry On.
Yeah, so the people, Ubisoft, who makes Assassin's Creed, right? Ubisoft. That new game that's coming out, it looks kind of kiddish. It doesn't really look that great to me. Completely not. The next Assassin's Creed's a Viking themed, apparently, and I am not very excited about it. I'm just going to tell you, Odyssey was okay. There's sometimes it's okay to have a lot of content in your games. Nothing wrong with that. Sometimes there's too much content, and that's what Assassin's Creed Odyssey had a big problem with, because what they did was they're like, okay, main story, but you're not big enough level, so you need to go do it side quests, and you're basically everyone's scrub, and it's stupid. The Witcher had a good excuse. I wouldn't even say it's an excuse, because every single thing, every quest actually felt fleshed out and not just copy paste. Oh, hey, go kill 10 boats, or hey, go do this, go do that. There were some side quests that were kind of fleshed out, but it was very go to A, search around, make a decision, that's it. And I just felt like it was very lackluster compared to Witcher 3, where it's some of these side quests and Witcher contracts you take up sometimes turn into something completely different, and they're very well done. Some of the best questing in gaming, period, in my honest opinion. But yeah. So we have a lot of things to be excited about. Ghost of Tsushima looks really good. I still need to look and see a little bit more on that before I get too excited. The fight scene they showed and the combat looked interesting. It's like a samurai. It's like if you like samurai movies and swordsman movies, you're gonna like the game.
Yeah, it looks like an old school, a Japanese movie that got released in 1950 or 60. And they just added color to it.
Yeah. So,
which
potential
sounds right
to be
alley,
awesome.
Honestly. So yeah.
Yeah, it's potential to be cool. We should just keep our eyes open, eyes peeled to see what this year has to offer. I am excited for this year, but I'm getting to the point where it's I'm not just googly eye excited just because I don't know, I can't explain it. It's just it's going to be a good year, but we've been playing some really cool games like Titanfall, which is really fun. I've been playing Witcher 3 again just because I've been really wanting to get back into that world and that story after seeing all the Henry Cavill stuff and all the new Witcher series that came out. So we have some really this is the age of the fans. In the age of nerd culture, that's really starting to just blow up, and you're seeing people who used to make fun of other people like this stuff now. It kind of cracks me up, honestly. But yeah, so anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah. So for I guess for things that we don't want to see in upcoming 2022 at least, I don't want to see another fucking game with microtransactions. I don't want to see it.
That's not gonna happen.
I feel like 2019 was the last time that anybody should even find it, even in the boardrooms, remotely acceptable for it to put in the game. It shouldn't have been, period. But
yeah,
it's no longer a viable option to get money. Like, people are gonna shut that shit down. You're not really going to be into it.
It
anymore.
hurts sales. I mean, it's the cut microtransactions out. If it
the money that you gain from microtransactions does not make up for the fact that no one's going to buy the fucking game. Like, there's
except for sports games. I mean, no matter what, that people, sports fans. No offense, you're a lost cause. I'm no longer going to petition. Like, I think it's when someone tells me they just play sports games, like, there's a little bit of respect I lose, just because like there's such a stigma of sports gamers being notorious for, throwing down so much money pointlessly. And these companies say, "Oh, look at that! I like that," and like then they release the same game next year. And if you want me to be honest with you, you know what they should do? They should have one game every like 2 or 3 years, and then they should upgrade. They should upgrade and change the stats of every character as the years go by. And it's shocking how much the games have stayed the same, and they're just not that good. The stories are horrible. The graphics look horrible. This is supposed to be like
some of the recent ones actually looked worse than what
they did look worse. Yes.
I remember playing 2K15, 2K16. I remember playing those, and I was like, "Oh wow, the game was good. Like, everything, like, it functions really good. Like, the game's just actually pretty good." Then I remember playing 2K19, and I was like, "This is a completely different fucking game. Completely different. I don't like this shit." And I got to play the story mode a little bit for it when they had a demo out, I think, for it.
It looked horrible.
And I was just like, God, who is voice acting this?
Yeah.
Who is it?
Because like they listen to the fans and they give you what they want, but it's not even a good. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, I really want a PS4 for Christmas. Okay, well, here's a PS2. It's like that's not what I wanted. Right? Yeah, no, that's not what I wanted. I wanted the one with better graphics, the one with better gameplay, the one with that's my point. I hate to cut the video short. I had to actually head out here in a second, but so yeah, I think that we should continue this. I'll probably change the title of this to be, to just show what we talked about. And we'll, this is just the couch conversation. So I hope you guys had a good one. Maybe one day we'll actually do a live video and we'll just all be sitting on a couch, and then, it'll be kind of funny.
Have me, you, maybe
PT Monster. Yeah. Just get us all in there and we can just all just kind of talk about this stuff. Yeah, guys. But go out there, enjoy those games. Be smart consumers, and if you liked it, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my buddy Aries Gaming Productions at his channel on YouTube. And yeah, guys, I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Deuces.